Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of STROTA Consultech, into this space for last 5 years, helping small and medium businesses. In this initiative called as HATKE, we are talking to various individuals, personalities, industry leaders who have mattered, who have led various types of industries from front, have had their passion into those areas. And we have a very peculiar type of industry to be discussed today. And a great personality who has been a metallurgist and having heart going for metallurgy, Mr. Devdas Suvarna. So thank you so much, Devdas ji.
Thank you for inviting me for this HATKE program. My sincere thanks.
So it is really wonderful, and we are honored to have you around. A person of your stature, having spent 33 years in this company with a peculiar name, Bainite Machines, and we will get into more details about what it is. Having graduated way back in 75, 76, 75, and been in this space and driving this company towards larger size, currently running at maybe around 70 crores or so. So, Devdas ji, a question to start with, what is this name Bainite? Without going into much technicality, because it might get too technical.
No, as I said, it is Bainite is a metallurgical phase found in steels. It was primarily developed as a heat treatment process, by virtue of which you develop a phase called Bainite in the steels, which imparts both toughness as well as hardness to the steels, so the physical properties of the steel is improved. I adopted this name primarily because it gives both. Generally, if you try to improve the toughness, then the hardness falls, and if you improve the hardness, then the toughness falls. But in Bainitizing, you primarily improve both. So I like that term. So that is the reason.
Very, very apt term to also have, toughness and also hardness at places. I believe that
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
what is also making any individual to sustain difficulties. This
Correct.
that steel requires to have for sustaining any kind of an impact.
Correct.
So one more question, looking at you and is the positive energy coming from you, Devdas ji. What keeps you so motivated, so positive, such a smiling face, and such a good health? Any kind of magic behind it?
Well, actually, I have been doing yoga and general physical exercises. At the same time, diet is also very important. So you eat a healthy food, and which has all the nutrients, fruits, and all these. So diet is important. Then as you age, of course, you have to cut down on salt and sugar. So that is important. So that plays a very vital role, like apart from, of course, the physical exercises. Then, of course, exposure to sun. So you have developed a vitamin D, and so things like that. So I feel whatever possible, whatever care we should take. But rest is, of course, on the Almighty God. So we have to do our best.
Excellent. And as your heart also goes for reading novels from the olden days, where you had that big books novels, right?
Very true, yeah.
So do you miss them? Do you read them at times?
Very much, actually. There are two factors, I would say. One is, as you get into the business and the business grows, you keep getting more and more busy. And plus, you have to maintain your health and do exercise. So you have to spend time on that. So primarily speaking, the time that is available for reading has been considerably reduced. But nevertheless, just before going to sleep, I do have a habit of reading. Earlier days, I used to read a lot, Reader's Digest, and to improve the GK and the general things, you know. And then I used to read novels like Arthur Haley, Frederick Forsyth, P.G. Woodhouse, to be humorous, and of course, so some novels which are adventurous.
Right.
So these are the novels which I used to generally read. I started with Tyre Manufacturing.
Right, and nowadays you're reading it through digital media, through iPad.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Now, moving that, we're talking about this concept of HATKE, and as we were discussing, H for health, A for attitude, T for technology, A for knowledge, and E for engagement. I think those are the pillars as such, as we were discussing, for any individual to start with himself, herself, and then talk about the business, family, the relatives, and community as a whole. So definitely wanted to hear your perspective on one or many of these pillars as we were discussing.
So we have covered health. Yes, as you H stands for. The A for attitude. Attitude, I would say that your approach towards your employees, the workmen, and your executives, your support staff. So your approach towards them, your approach towards attitude towards customers, and then your vendors, the financial institutions like banks, etc. So it is all imbibed into one pyramid.
Okay.
So you have to primarily develop a correct attitude to, if you want to grow well in the industry. So then in that case, of course, if you have the right attitudes, I feel the success is a must. Yeah. Yeah. Now, so that is A. Then you say T is technology.
Yeah.
So technology, basically, every entrepreneur should adopt the technology. It's a moving force, I would say. Both the growth and to survive in these difficult periods, the technology plays a very crucial role. And technology is also into development. Now you can't be constantly producing same kind of product. So you need to improve your product. You have to have technology to improve your product. So your product technology, and to make that product also technology. So technology plays an all-round role. So T is for technology. And K for is knowledge, you said.
Yeah.
Very important. Very, very important. You have to keep upgrading your knowledge. Sharpen your skills, hone your skills. So that is not only yours, your employees, your vendors. If you are subcontracting, then they should also know what exactly you are wanting. So all this knowledge and the skill development is very important.
Right.
Now, so then comes to E.
E for engagement. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say E for many things. Environment. So, so education. So there are so many aspects. So I think E is also your very good, excellent word, abbreviated word you have chosen.
Oh, you mean the HATKE? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Basically, it is all pillars where not only the individuals,
Very
but
true. Very true.
the whole ecosystem has to build that toughness and hardness as the
Very
benefit.
true, yeah. Very true.
So
Correct.
that's how that's where the survival is important, right? In the current
Yeah,
pandemic, as we talk
yeah.
about business continuity,
Mm.
or life continuity, or sustenance. Some people say that make sure that you sustain your business for 1 year, this is the
Correct.
difficult time. So do you also
Yeah, yeah.
believe that this year, if we are just able to stick our head only to be alive or be there or be continuing, that is something that we should expect in this year as
No,
we.
basically, my attitude is that what all the whenever the difficulties come, you are facing, you need to convert it into an opportunity. Now, how you want to convert it into an opportunity is depends upon your intelligence, how clever, smart you can be, and then you can think, rack your brains. How you can convert your these. Now, for
Mm,
example, in these difficult periods, there are some companies who have done exceedingly well.
mm,
Amazon, for example,
right?
yeah, simple.
True.
So they have got the opportunity, but in your own field, how you can convert these difficulties into an opportunity,
That's the question.
right? So that I feel every entrepreneur should never get disheartened and then sit and cry, but be bold and go forward, rack the brains, and use your intelligence, use your um, education, knowledge, everything possible, how you can come out of this very successfully.
Right, right. I think that's a wonderful thought where
Mm.
use this challenging situation as an opportunity. I think
Yeah, correct.
that's the key word because
Very true.
if we just look at this as end of life, that's
Yeah,
that's the end in
never
our
do that.
mind.
Yeah,
It is in mind that we'll create a death for not only yourself but also for your business and
yeah.
for
Not
your
only
future.
that, Shiriji, one should not never feel that I have gotten old and now I
Ah,
want to retire. No, I
wow,
don't believe in that.
I like
No.
that.
Work till your hands can work, your mind can work, your legs can walk,
Wow.
but be always active.
I think
Always.
this term called as being old and being redundant is in your heart or in your brain. If we
Mm.
stop it there,
No,
uh,
just throw it out.
I just like it. Yeah, I we were discussing about you being at the helm of one of the organization BCCI, I believe, having a business club maybe
Yeah,
of
correct.
various entrepreneurs. So you
Yeah,
have tried various initiatives there. So maybe you can throw some light on what all
yeah.
are you doing in that.
No,
So,
basically, it is a chamber of commerce
okay.
and industries, and this particular community-based organization, of which I am one of the vice chairman, and what we try to do is that we try to encourage the new entrepreneurs, the various aspects of setting up um, new ventures, new enterprises, with respect to the regulations, government regulations, with respect to technology, what their product, with respect to product selection, then with respect to financial institutions, aids. So all these things we try to impart to the new entrepreneurs. So basically, it's like a hand-holding organization.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So moving ahead, one more dimension of a question, where I'm trying to get to a person being extremely hard worker. I mean, person is
Mm.
sincere and doing his job, her job, and not giving time to himself or herself.
Mm.
My thought is that you have a passion on metallurgy. You love to work hard, but how do you manage the work life balance? How do you give time to yourself, your family? Uh, Maybe some words about that.
Well, basically, you have to time management is pretty important here. So you have a fixed time which you can give it to the business and to your employees, to your vendors and your financial institutions. Then fixed time for your family, fixed time for your health and peace. So you allocate the timings, fixed timings, and at the same time have a good diet, very important. So, so likewise, it is if you treat it's like, you know, when you're running a business, how you are budgeting, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. So you financial budgeting, how you do. So the same way you have to do your budgeting of the time.
Wonderful, nicely told. So, and maybe a brief outline of, I know it is extremely complex process as far as the producing of various machines required for manufacturing of rubber, tires, or any other allied products. So maybe you can give very high level outline because it might get very, very technical. But I respect your knowledge on that. But can you just give some names of those machineries that you are producing?
No, we are producing the rubber compounding machines. Now, these machine systems, they the tire or any rubber compound is it has a particular recipe. When you say recipe, it is not only the rubber. It could be synthetic rubber or it is natural rubber. So if it is any kind of rubber, then you add either carbon, you add oil, you add either silica, or you add a different kind of chemicals. And finally, for vulcanization, you have you add sulfur. So with sulfur, the vulcanization takes place. So when you add sulfur to the rubber compound, so these are the these machinery systems, they compound. So the tire is made of, as I say, it is made of different segments. The top tread which comes in contact with the ground road is made of a very expensive type of compound, and then the body is made out of the tough compound, which it has to have strength as well as the shock absorption. So so the different properties are required in the different segments. So accordingly, the type of rubber compound is selected, and so the machine can be used for different kind of recipes. And then after that, of course, the extrusion process for thread extrusion. Then for body manufacturing, the body, the sheets are there, and those sheets are in the calendering lines. So you have pre-calendering and the post-calendering line, and then the main calendar. So the calendar, basically the function is to coat the wire mesh, steel wire mesh with on both the sides the rubber. And so you get coated sheets, and those sheets are then sent to the tire building machines. So we don't produce tire building machines. And and then it goes.
It's a centrifugal. Or
no. It rotates, and you keep wrapping. And the final wrap is the thread.
Also, the layer comes from there actually.
That's right. So the tire building machine, and that produces the green tire, and then from the green tire it goes into the curing press.
Curing process.
The curing process, the final tire comes out, and then it is tested. Those tires are tested. It has to be tested for all tires have to have the correct perfect diameters. It can't have different diameters.
I mean, that is specified by the specific abbreviation, that for radial tire you see R. 25 by 35. You have the aspect ratio.
They have. So not only for tire industry, we also produce for the hose industry, then the industry which is conveyor belts, rubber conveyor belts. So wherever the rubber is used, and not only rubber, I would say polymer. Polymer is used. We also produce lab equipments, the laboratory mixers, laboratory mills. So wherein they use different recipes and they test their recipes, and then they test the physical properties of this compound. So we produce lab mixers also, laboratory mixers.
Excellent, excellent. I think if we just take the tire, it is matter of raw material, heating it, mixing it, adding proper additives to making it together, then calendering where you have layers, and then
That's right.
getting it to roll, and then eventually.
That's right.
So all these are going to have different machines to handle
Yes.
this. So it's very complicated process.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a
Excellent.
high tech process.
Yeah. Yeah. So you talked about technology. I believe that's where the whole matter of technology is very critical for this kind of machines, where they have to be slowly made intelligent, sensor based, as we say, smart.
Automation. Automation systems. Yeah. So I mean, as the technology grows, the automation system plays a very important, crucial role. So that your quality is consistent, and also your product is consistent. So that is why it is the automation is dependence on the human beings are less. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, since if at all we restrict tires only going to auto industry, since auto industry everybody knows that was impacted very severely. Slowly it is coming back in this pandemic state. So your industry, as making of, again, the cycle for capital machines could be different, right? But is that impacted hugely for this pandemic?
So what has happened is that the movement through trains has been curtailed. So the dependence on the road has increased. So thereby the demand for the tires have started rising. So that way the tire industry has suddenly started booming.
Wow.
So it is a good sign.
Okay.
It's a good sign, yeah.
So okay, wonderful. I think in Detroit, maybe back that time they did not let the rails to happen, and they built roads to encourage the auto industry.
Yes.
And here the pandemic has helped us to have wonderful. I think,
like I said, every difficulty has to be converted to an opportunity.
oh, wow, that's really good. So going back to some aspects of your personality and somebody that you kind of see as a role model in the industry. So do you have some role models where you look up to somebody?
I would definitely say Ratan Tata.
Okay.
He is my main role model. Okay. And the second one is Narayan Murthy.
Wow.
I look up to these two gentlemen as the main role models, of course, in all aspects.
I mean, the way that Tata...
They are good human beings too.
Basically, both individuals come with a value system, which is humanitarian,
very true.
where all the values are basically for the mankind. It is not materialistic.
Their contribution to the society is also great. Community, yeah.
And both of them are absolutely down to earth, humble, I believe.
One has to be. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. So moving forward, do you see any kind of a goal that you want to achieve, take Bennett to a different heights or reach some personal goal?
Actually, I'm thinking everyone should attempt to grow their industry. You see, The industry norm is that they should grow at the rate of at least 15%.
Okay.
Otherwise, the industry will die a natural death.
Yeah.
This is my feeling.
Right.
So an industry has to be striving to grow at this rate, minimum.
Right.
So obviously, you have to widen your horizon and have more channel partners who can find businesses for you, and think of various advertising, sales promotions. At the same time, maintain good relationship, work relationship, and outsourcing. So all these through all these channels, you try to grow. You need to grow.
So growth is definitely the mantra for future. And
very true.
Minimum
Both
15%.
both improve your top line as well as bottom line.
Wonderful. Absolutely good. I believe it has been wonderful talking to you, Devdas ji. Thanks for giving
Thank you,
the time.
Shirish. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you so much.
Any message you want to give for people who are not as positive, optimistic as you are?
As I said, never think old. Keep working,
Right.
and just try to think out of the box.
Okay.
Like HATKE.
Cool.
That is my mantra. Be honest, dedicated,
Yes.
sincere
Right.
to your industry as well as to your customers. Maintain, as you said, value systems. So these are all the very important aspects. They only take you to forward.
Right.
There are no shortcuts.
Wow. Thanks so much for your time, Devdas ji.
You're welcome, Shirish. Thank you so much.
This will go long for definitely long
Definitely,
time.
definitely.
Right? And we wish you a great health, a
Thank
great
you.
progress.
Thank you.
Bainite,
Thank you.
as you said about hardness and toughness,
Yeah.
should go leaps and bounds. Your
Yeah.
own, ability to be like Bainite as a mixture should
Yeah.
go as something that others will look up to. Thanks for joining.
Surely, yeah. Surely.
Thanks a lot.
I will be happy. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं।
बुलंदियों को छूने की आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है।
सही स्ट्रेटेजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं। स्त्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन।